Hello, everyone. This is Kurt Kelly, and I'm back here in my office, home office here in Ocala, after a busy 2 weeks being on the road with Justin White as we've gone out and meeting with many of our folks and doing some of the videoing for the Faith Initiative. What an enjoyment. It's always a joy for me to be able to get out on the road, and I appreciate the hospitality and the kindness as we went out there and spoke to our folks. Speaking of the Faith Initiative, next week, on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Depending on when your time slot is, they will be running all of the rest of the 13 areas that they're going to be doing and so forth. So we hope that you are able to participate when it comes to your area and be involved. But this was a busy week for us because the legislature came back in session for the committee weeks. And this was the first time that they had their big committee weeks for our substantive committees, for the Senate and House, both House Children, Families, and Seniors subcommittee. The secretary testified on Tuesday and Wednesday in the Senate on Tuesday and on Wednesday in the House. He had a series of questions and things that he was going to answer. It actually got kind of long for him, and he didn't get to finish up with some of his stuff. They'll bring him back. And I thought there was a lot of good questions around what he was talking about. He actually was addressing some of the news clippings and some of the things that were out there. And we appreciate the secretary. You know, he actually called us and asked us if we had some ideas of some things that we felt needed to be presented into his conversation. And that's a very encouraging thing to have the secretary ask us about our opinions and what needs to be presented. And I thought that he did a great job in that. Also, we began to have a lot of conversations with members. There's some legislation that's beginning to drop now on Tuesday night, Senate Bill 80, that deals with reunification, assessment tools, and etc. It's a 44-page bill that came out from a good friend of mine, Jason Broder, Senator Broder, and we'll have some conversations around that. I know that many of you have already had an opportunity to start looking at that. I know Victoria was kind enough to send that out to her committees to begin to review that, and we're having conversations around that. We'll get an opportunity. There's some great opportunities inside that bill for us to do some good things in that respect. I also will tell you that this was a big week around the conversation of 65C14 rulemaking. Now, we don't need to reiterate all of the stuff that's taken place with that, but this was an important week. We needed to have everything into them. If we had comments, we needed to have everything into them by Thursday. And we did. We had we had probably over 300 responses. I think it was more than that we sent to the department. We coalesced most of them. We had a lot of them stragglers sort of coming in. We made sure everybody got in to the department so they had an opportunity to see our concerns. And we've had some assurances from the department that they are going to take out the areas of the IMD, which were the limitations on the 16 beds, limitations of the campus, and a certain licensing around the whole IMD issue. Why? Because frankly, there's no reason to put that in there. If we don't address the IMD issue, if we don't get that fixed from the Washington perspective, then it's going to have major implications, and there would be no reason to even have a rule on that. And so I appreciate the department hearing our grave concerns about that. Now we need to all work together and get our national folks to help us address this issue. This is going to be a big lift. It's an uphill fight, but I think it's well worth it. And we have a lot of support around the nation. A lot of folks are involved in this. Let's see if we can get past some of the animus that's happening in Washington, D.C., and possibly get the right things taken care of so we can serve our children and families the right way. Just the final thing that I wanted to say is that this month we have focused on quality residential care. Our communications team and your communications teams have done a great job of getting information to us, and we have gotten it out there. There's multiple tweets and social media posts, and I really encourage you to go look at those and then to like them and share them as much as you possibly can. Make sure you're sharing this with legislators, because this is a very important time to be able to give them an understanding of the great quality care that we provide and the great quality development that our state has done, our residential care organizations have done to lead the nation in developing quality residential standards. And so we're very proud of that as well. And I got to tell you how much I appreciate all of our residential folks and the way they've engaged Byway 65C14 and involving in themselves in that, but also this quality initiative and this campaign that we have and showing our legislators and others the great work we do. Last thing I want to remind you of is that on Monday, we will not have our call because Monday the coalition offices are closed down. This is in honor of a great American, and it's a day that we memorialize, recognize Martin Luther King and his accomplishments. I hope that you take the opportunity and do that. We will not have our call on Monday, but we'll be back the following Monday. With that, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Please take care of yourself. We've got several members and friends of ours that have COVID. And we're not out of this thing yet. We're gonna continue to work through it the right way. Please take care of yourself and your family. Thank you, everyone, for all the great work you do. Just remind you that we love you. We appreciate all the great work that you do. We're here for you anytime you need us. I hope you have a great weekend, and we look forward to talking with you in the future. God bless.